I always loved exploring my grandmother's old attic. There was just something so intriguing about rummaging through old boxes and discovering forgotten treasures from years gone by. But little did I know, my latest find would unleash a terror unlike anything I had ever experienced before. It was a cold and dreary afternoon when I found it. Tucked away in a dusty corner of the attic was an old wooden chest, covered in cobwebs and smelling of decay. As I opened it up, my eyes were immediately drawn to a small porcelain doll, its faded pink dress and cracked face sending a chill down my spine. I reached out to touch it, but as soon as my fingers made contact with the doll, a wave of unease washed over me. It felt as though the air around me had suddenly grown colder, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. Ignoring my instincts, I picked up the doll and examined it more closely. Its eyes seemed to follow me, the once cheerful smile now twisted into a malevolent grin. I felt a shiver run down my spine, and I quickly placed the doll back in the chest, eager to be rid of it. But as I turned to leave, a soft voice whispered in my ear, "Don't leave me here alone." I froze in place, my heart pounding in my chest. I must be imagining things, I thought to myself. There's no way the doll could be talking to me. I quickly made my way down the stairs, trying to shake off the feeling of dread that had settled over me. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. That night, as I lay in bed, I heard a soft tapping coming from the attic. I tried to tell myself it was just the wind, but deep down, I knew it was the doll. I tried to block out the sound, burying my head under the covers and willing myself to fall asleep. But no matter how hard I tried, sleep eluded me. As the hours ticked by, the tapping grew louder and more insistent. I could hear it moving closer and closer, until it sounded as though it was right outside my bedroom door. And then, suddenly, it stopped. I held my breath, waiting for whatever was coming next. And then, I heard it. The sound of tiny footsteps creeping down the hallway towards my room. I wanted to scream, to run, to do anything to escape the terror that was unfolding before me. But I was frozen in place, unable to move a muscle. And then, the door creaked open, revealing the doll standing in the doorway. Its eyes gleamed in the moonlight, the malevolent grin now stretched into a horrifying smile. I wanted to run, to scream, to do anything to escape the nightmare that was unfolding before me. But before I could react, the doll spoke once more. "Play with me," it whispered, its voice hollow and chilling. And then, as if possessed by some unseen force, I found myself reaching out to grab the doll's outstretched hand. As soon as my fingers made contact with its cold porcelain skin, a searing pain shot through my body, and I felt as though I was being pulled into some dark abyss. I tried to scream, to fight back, but it was no use. The doll had me in its grasp, and there was no escaping its sinister hold. As I was dragged deeper and deeper into the darkness, I could hear the doll's laughter echoing in my ears, mocking me as I descended into madness. And then, everything went black. When I woke up, I found myself back in the attic, the doll lying on the floor beside me. I scrambled to my feet, my heart pounding in my chest. Had it all been a dream? Or had I really experienced the horror that had unfolded before me? I quickly gathered up the doll and tossed it back into the chest, sealing it shut and vowing never to open it again. But as I turned to leave, I heard a soft whisper in my ear. "We'll meet again," it said, its voice dripping with malice. And with a sinking feeling in my gut, I knew that the nightmare was far from over. The haunted doll in the attic would always be waiting, ready to unleash its terror upon anyone who dared to cross its path. And I knew that I would never truly be free from its malevolent grasp.